Alright everybody, welcome to this tutorial of Okey Dokeys. Today you're going to be making it with me. We're going to be making a pumpkin eraser because our erasers did so well, and because people seem to really like them. So we have a bunch of erasers. Give me one moment, let me go grab them. Alright, here they are. Here's our big basket of erasers. We've got so many different varieties. These are all very summery themed, and I'm going to be making one that is a pumpkin for Halloween, just to kind of have something more Halloween style version of our erasers, because who doesn't want to have a themed eraser for going to school and teaching or doing whatever you do. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Here are the materials that you're going to need to have to be able to make this. Okay, you're going to need your 5.5mm crochet hook. I used a 5.5mm. It makes the stitches tighter, more closer together. I know a lot of people with the Chenille yarn are like, oh, that you don't do that, that's bad. But I like to have the stitches closer together, a little bit tighter. So do with that what you will. And then I'm going to be using our super bulky Chenille yarn from Okey Dokeys. This is the orange color. I think that one's Tangerine Tango. And then this is our Cocoa Dream Brown. Okay, and this is also in super bulky Chenille. We're going to be using like a teeny tiny bit of this, and mostly it will be orange. Okay, you're also this is optional, but a yarn needle, and then I like to use this metal one here. It's my favorite thing in the universe. And then you'll be using this stitch marker right here. It doesn't matter what color, use whatever color you want. And as we go, I'm going to be writing it down on this sticky note, but it'll all be pretty chill. I'll probably write it all down afterward, and you won't even have to worry about it, because I'm basing it pretty heavily off of some of our other patterns, some of our other like this. I'm kind of basing it off of this little guy a little bit. So if you have that pattern, it's free on our site. If you have that pattern, it's very similar to this one. So you can follow along a little bit if you'd like, okay? Perfect. So I'll be writing that down as we go. And you also kind of get to look a little bit into how we make patterns here at Okey Dokeys. So I always like to write the title so that I don't lose track of what it is that I'm doing. Pumpkin eraser. And because I have a lot of these sticky notes that I need to turn into actual patterns later. So, yes. So we're going to start. Oh, there's a bunch of dust all over the table. That's weird. Okay. So we're going to start by doing round one. I always like to make my patterns on sticky notes way simpler than my patterns in real life. I type them up a lot different than they are on the sticky note, but I just write it in a way that I can understand it for whatever. So you're going to start with your orange, and you're going to make a magic ring alternative, which is just making a slip knot, chaining 2, 1, 2, and then going into that first stitch. And then you're going to single crochet. Oh, let me pull up the pattern I'm referencing a little bit. I'm just pulling it up on my phone. We're going to magic ring alternative. I like to write it down before I do the round, which is probably not a good idea. It depends on the day, actually. Sometimes I write it down after I make the round. Sometimes I need to see what the round looks like first before I write it down. So I'll probably alternate between doing it before the round and after the round. Okay, so just bear with me a little bit. Magic ring alternative, single crochet 8. So a lot of people complain about how you can't put that many into a magic ring alternative. That is false. You can 100% put that many into a magic ring alternative. You can put up to like 16 in a magic ring alternative. I get it, you can even put 20 in there. It's just a skill issue if you can't. So whatever works. Okay, now that we have 8 in there, I'm going to put that stitch marker in the last stitch. People get after me because I put it in the last stitch. That is silly. You can do whatever you want. Whatever helps you keep track of your stitches the best. Okay, then we are going to increase all the way around. So increase times 8 is 16. What I like to do when I'm counting more difficult rounds, like there's a shark pattern on our website, and that one I had to do some really weird counting for part of it. For the tail, there was some really weird counting that I had to do. And so the best way to count, if you're writing a pattern, the best way to count how to write, like how many stitches are at the end, like your end stitch count, the best way is to count the amount of increases and the amount of decreases, especially if you're making amigurumis. Amigurumis are pretty easy to count. The amount of increases minus the amount of decreases, and then you add that to the stitch count that you have right now. So if it's like -10, then you subtract 10. But we don't have -10, so don't worry. Ugh. When I get distracted and I start yapping, I forget that I'm crocheting, and then I just crochet, I just start single crocheting all the way around, just because that's like my autopilot kicking in. So my throat's also a little bit sore today, so apologies if it's a little bit scratchy and if I sound really gravelly, but that's just how it's gonna be today. Okay, we're gonna do a single crochet and then an increase. We're gonna do that 8 times, so the stitch count 24. I had one of my dear friends ask me if I could make her a pattern for making like a goose or something, and it just over this past weekend, and I was like, oh sure, let me do it. And so I wrote one up just using whatever I just like came up with, and I was like, oh yeah, here's how you make the basic shape that you want to make. And I didn't really crochet it as I was doing it. I find it more helpful if I do, because then I get the right size. But she kind of told me the size that she wanted and the size of her yarn, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I like wrote one up for her, and then she started to crochet, and she's like, oh wow, how did you make this so fast? And I was like, oh, I just do this a lot, come up with a lot of patterns. But I love it. It's so fun. A weird skill, but it's fun. Okay, perfect. Okay, we've gone all the way around. The next round is going to be, an increase and then single crochet 2, and you're going to do that 8 times all the way around. So then you get 32. So an increase, and then you single crochet 2, and then another increase. I realize that I've just been yapping more than actually telling you how to crochet, and so I'm like not being very helpful, but trust. We'll be okay. We got this. We'll get through it together. Increase, single crochet 2. I feel like I need to fill the silence when I'm just sitting here doing like the same thing over and over again. So I feel like I have to kind of yap with you guys when I'm just sitting here. So yeah, because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm just like, okay, now do this. Okay, now do this. I want to be like, hey guys, welcome to my tutorial. I used to always think as a kid, like, oh, wouldn't it be so fun if I had a YouTube channel? Then I almost started a YouTube channel, but then I didn't. And I'm grateful every single day that I did not start a YouTube channel when I was a child. Okay, round number 5 is going to be, it's going to be single crochet 3 and then increase. The one that we just did where you increase and then single crochet 2, that helps it be more round. Because if you increase at the same place all the way around, it gets these points. So if you see our bat pattern, the wings are actually utilizing that, of having the one specific spot where you increase every single time, so that it kind of goes into points and then makes the points more defined at the tips. So there's your little tidbit of information of the day. That's one of my little life hacks of writing patterns, so that it makes it easier. Just stuff that you learn over time. So single crochet 3 and then increase. And I lose count all the time, so don't even worry. If you're like, oh, I lose count all the time, I don't know how anybody keeps track of. It's fine, babe. Nobody counts correctly in crochet, dude. Like, it's one of those things that's supposed to like be calming, and so sometimes it's like really irritating to just be counting when you want it to be calming, unless counting is super calming to you. Sometimes I catch myself counting even when I don't need to be counting, but it's not necessarily calming for me. It's just a habit, so that I can keep track of it when I'm making patterns. Because I used to just freehand everything and I wouldn't write the pattern down. I just would like try to remember it, or just like look at it and be like, wait, what did I do again? Because I made these like little dolls and stuff. But yeah, this is just story time with Zuri, just about very Halloween stuff. I can tell you guys some fun Halloween stories about me. Get to know Zuri a little bit. Okay, really fast though. This next round, you're going to single crochet all the way around. I usually just put the amount of stitch, the stitch count. I might need to start putting single crochet around though, because Alexia struggles with like when she goes, she will miss like a stitch, and when she's like, she counts it all the way around. She's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if she misses a stitch, she goes over where the end of it is supposed to be. Especially if it's like single crochet 40 like 10 times, then she'll go like extra. So there's this little like pickle that she has. If you look on her socials, you can see it. There's this pickle that she made that is kind of special because she's trying to make the duck, and then it didn't turn out looking like the duck. So anyway, go check it out. It's actually hilarious. It's pretty early in our socials, so you might need to scroll down a little bit, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, we're single crocheting all the way around, however many that may be. Also, people who like freak out if your stitch count isn't correct, like isn't exactly correct for like amigurumis, they're so silly. Just do an extra increase. Just do an extra decrease. Like, it's not that crazy big of a deal. just like, and also if it's a little bit bigger, like if it's off by like 1 or 2, it's not that big of a deal. Like, people need to chill out because it's really not that serious. We're almost to the part where you switch to the brown, so just be ready for that. But yeah, story time is here. We're going to talk about Halloween stories. So, one Halloween, I was going around, and my little sister decided she had just barely learned to walk. She was like 1. She just barely learned to walk, and she decided to push her own stroller the whole time. Instead of going trick-or-treating, she just wanted to push her stroller the whole time we were going trick-or-treating. And it was so, so funny. We're all like, you just learned to walk. And she's like, yeah. And we're like, then why are you pushing your stroller? You just learned to walk. You can sit in the stroller. She's like, well, I want to walk the whole time because I learned how to do it. Okay. Now we're going to switch to brown. I'm going to show you a little sneaky technique. Oh. Gotten a knot. That's okay. Okay. There's like stuff everywhere. Okay. I'm going to show you a little technique. I'm going to pull this closer to the camera. So, in order to switch colors nicely, because we're just going to switch colors for a minute, but in order to switch colors nicely, you're going to stick your crochet hook in the top loop and through the bottom loop. So where this yarn goes through for when you finish that stitch, and then you're going to pull this yarn through that loop. I'll stick on the stitch marker. And then you can just pull this, and it doesn't fall out. So that's my little sneaky trick for you, in case you didn't know it. I think that's supposed to be common knowledge by this point, but anyway, if you didn't know that, that's how you do that. Okay. We're going to do a bobble stitch, then we're going to single crochet 39. And we still have a stitch count of 40, because bobble stitches don't make the stitch count any higher. It looks like it should, but it doesn't. Okay, so a bobble stitch is like a bunch of double crochets that are like a bunch of unfinished double crochets in the same stitch. So it's like 4 of them. And then for when you pull it through at the end, we're going to use orange because we're going to switch back. So I'm going to just like put a little star next to that so that we know that that's a different color. Pull it all the way through those, and then you just keep single crochet like it never even happened. Perfect. And that'll be your little stem when we're done, okay? Oh, and then you'll cut this, so give me a second. Cut that string, because you won't need any more brown. That's literally it. When I said that you didn't need very much brown, I really meant it. You do not need that much brown. Oh, and we're just single crocheting all the rest of the way around. Oh. Yes, tables get covered and stuff. I don't even know how. Just single crocheting. Other Halloween stories. My family always did Halloween together. Everybody would dress up together for Halloween. We always did family costumes, and I always loved it. Well, I didn't always love it, because as a kid you don't always love doing that kind of thing, but I'm grateful that we did it. Now, as an adult, it's so much nicer to like look back and to see these fun costumes that I did with my family and that we all got to participate in and stuff. So I would recommend it if you ever have a little family of your own. Do family costumes. They're so fun. And also, you get so many compliments. It's like, oh my gosh, I wish we could do family costumes. Yeah, they're pretty sick. We did The Legend of Zelda one year. I think we might have done Mario one year. I don't remember. Okay, then the next round we're just going to single crochet all the way around again. I'm running out of space on the sticky note. It's okay. Single crochet all the way around. Other Halloween stories. What other costumes would we do? We did Scooby-Doo one year. That was really good. One of these recent years, and I still dress up with them because I live pretty close to them. So we all live, yeah. But we dressed up as bodyguards for one of my little sisters was a fashionista or like a celebrity, and we all dressed up as bodyguards for her. It was very funny. And then last year we were all like wooden creatures. Me and my sister, I was a slug and she was a snail. If you've ever seen the movie Epic, we were based off of that. So like I had a sweater that said like, and I might wear it on our socials coming up because it's getting colder. As you can see, I'm wearing like a sweater right now because it's getting cold. But it was funny because on that sweater I have like a moist is what we do. That's like on my sweater. But if you've ever seen the movie, it's great. 10 out of 10. I love that movie so much. but we were all like woodland creatures, and it was really cutie. And it's so weird because it's always like so cold in October. It's always freezing. But anyway, finish that round. Perf. Next round we are going to single crochet 3 and then decrease. So we're getting to the decrease area. 32. Stitch count of 32. So other costumes that my family has done, we did Pac-Man one year where we all wore t-shirts that had a ghost on it, or like a pretzel or cherries or stuff like that. Like we had like, I think we definitely did the cherries. I don't remember what other foods we had, but we had the cherries. And then on the back of the people who had the ghost shirts, like I had a ghost shirt, I think mine was red. We would have like a dead ghost, or whatever the ghost that was like, whatever the defeated ghost looked like. We had that on the back of the shirts. Anyway, and we made all of these costumes because my family is crazy. But that one was really fun. I think this year we're all being cats, and like my mom's a crazy cat lady or something. And then what were some of the other costumes that we did? We did Star Wars like twice. That was fun. I don't think we've ever done Harry Potter. Oh, we did the Lord of the Rings one year. That was really good. I still have like the cloak from that and everything. We got some elf ears, and it was very fun. And then what else did we do? We've done so many. Oh my goodness, we've done so many. We did like fruits and vegetables one year. My brother put like a bunch of purple balloons all over himself, and was a grape with some grapes. Okay, and then we're gonna, anyway, back to the actual pattern. The next round number 10, we're gonna decrease, and then we're gonna single crochet 2. So it's just basically the reverse of what we did before. So if you're ever confused, you're like, wait, what were we doing again? It's the reverse of what we were doing before. Okay? 11. We're going to need to start scribbling on this side right here, so don't worry. We'll get there. Oh, I got a pen all over my hands. Sorry. Okay. Decrease, single crochet 2. Decrease, single crochet 2. Perfect. Other costumes that we did, we were we were bugs one year. That was really fun. I was like a ladybug or a butterfly or something. And like I was really little at the time, and my little brother, I think, was a caterpillar, but he was like a baby, so he just was like swaddled. That was a funny day. That was fun. We did Alice in Wonderland, but like the live action version. So like I was the White Queen or something, or whatever her name is, whatever she's called. And then like when my little sister was like the Queen of Hearts, and it was really funny. I love when little girls wear the evil Queen of Hearts costumes. They're so funny. It makes me laugh so hard. Okay, perfect. We finished that round. My dad was a Mad Hatter in that. I remember that. Okay, next we're going to single crochet and then decrease, and we're going to do that 8 times, or just all the way around. And the stitch count will then be 16. Okay, perfect. Single crochet. Here, if you need to follow along, if you can read my handwriting, you could take a quick, well, I gotta line it up right. Okay, you could take a screenshot of that if you want to follow along a little bit better. If you want to have it to refer to later, you could take a screenshot of that if you can read my handwriting. Oh, excuse me. But if you can't read my handwriting, then I apologize. But, yes. So, anyway, yeah, we're single crocheting and then decreasing all the way around. What was I telling you guys about? Oh, my mom was the March Hare, and then like my little brother was the White Rabbit, I think. I don't remember that costume 100%, but it was very fun. What were some other costumes that we did? We've done a lot of really fun costumes. We've done Star Wars so many times. At least twice, probably closer to 3 times. My family is very big into Star Wars and everything. What are some other ones that we've done? We've done so many. I know that I haven't mentioned them all. My parents have done a bunch. They did a bunch when they were married, but perfect. Okay, fantastic. Then the next round is going to be round number 12, and you're going to decrease all the way around, so it'll be 8 times, and your final stitch count will be 8. And we're not using any stuffing for this pattern. Just decreasing all the way around. I'm trying to think. I froze my buns off the other day. One of the previous Halloweens, and then I decided I'm only ever wearing warm Halloween costumes from now on because it gets so cold sometimes, and then you're just stuck in this little Halloween costume, and it gets like freezing. Anyway, yeah, wear warm Halloween costumes, you guys. Unless you're going to a Halloween party, then you can wear whatever. Okay, fasten off. This is the best part. Fasten off and pull close. So I'm gonna, I usually like to slip stitch before I fasten off. Let me get my scissors here. Scissors, snipped it, perf. Oh, make sure you take your stitch marker out before you pull it close. That would be embarrassing. Then you're going to weave this yarn through each of these loops and then pull it tight as you go. I mean, this yarn you can pull it tight at the end and it works fine, but I like to pull it tight as I go so it's not like a hassle at the end. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. And I mean, you can use a yarn needle to do that too. But oh, I just pulled it all on the other side. Now I have to hide it again. Hiding your tails is important. Do it. Make sure that you don't have a bunch of extra yarn poking out. People are like, I don't get hiding your tail. No, hide the tails of your yarn. It looks lazy. It looks sloppy and they fray. Or, I mean, some of them fray. It depends on what yarn you use. But hide the tails of your yarn, please. It makes it look so much nicer. Okay, that is pumpkin so far. Other things that you can do that I will be doing in this video is, excuse me, let me just get another piece of yarn, is you can do, you can take your yarn needle right here. Oh. Take your yarn needle right here and then thread it. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's so hard to thread a needle. Oh. Let me cut that. If you pull on like this very specific spot, sometimes the yarn starts to fray a little bit. But it's not bad. You just trim it a little bit and it doesn't fray ever again. But just keep an eye out for that. Okay. So what you can do to make it look better is I'm going to start at the apex of this pumpkin. So I'm going to start threading. Basically, I'm going to start like threading this all the way around. And I'm going to pull it a little bit tight, but not by a lot, because I don't want to pull it a lot tight. Even better than that is if you thread it through the side a little bit, like if you poke it, like if you thread it through like that. Oh, I just punched this basket next to me. And then that makes it stay a little bit better, stay in its place a little bit better. I'm just going to do it a few times, and it's going to look kind of cheap. I bet you could make it like look way better, but this is just the way that I'm going to do it because I think it'll look cute no matter what. And yeah, like I'll just put some stripes across on it because I think it looks cute. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do the stripes on it. But I'm just going to do stripes on it because I think that that is a cutie patootie little decision right there. Oh, I'm going to thread this through a different spot. There we go. Perfect. Oh. And then I'm going to thread that back through. Tie this in a knot. Perfect. Let me get my scissors. Set your extra yarn aside. And then just hide your tails. Hide your yarn tails, because if you don't, then it doesn't look as nice. And I know a lot of people don't hide their yarn tails because they're like, oh, they look fine, right? No, they don't. They make it look cheap. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. You don't have to quote me on that. Okay. There's a pumpkin. It's so cutie. I love it. This is great for like just having an extra little Halloween thing. The yarn works so good. Let me tell you this again. The yarn works so good for picking up literally all marker. Like, just like dry erase marker, obviously. But like, it picks it up so good. And it works for like washcloths and stuff too. This yarn is just so good at like gripping stuff and just like cleaning it off. It just is so good. So, absolutely love this. Thank you for making it with me. Pattern is here. You kind of would have to like turn it a little bit to get the next part, but pattern is here. Absolutely recommend making this. Do what you got to do to, if you want to change how this looks, like make it curved a little bit more, so that looks a little bit more refined, a little bit nicer. Do what you gotta do. I'm not picky at all. Do whatever. But yeah, there you go. There's your dry erase marker eraser pumpkin style for Halloween. If you have any other questions, if you want to learn how to crochet a little bit more, look at our YouTube channel. We have so many tutorial videos. If you want to check out our yarns, like with all of our plush deluxe yarns, you can check those out on our website. We also have Amazon, but I'd recommend going to our website. Our website is cutie patootie. I love it. And then we have fun social media trends that we do. You can see me in that funky hoodie with the slug staying on it. I'll be wearing that soon, I'm sure. But check out our social medias, subscribe, follow for more, and like this video if you enjoyed it or if you like pumpkins. Basically, whatever, just like if you want to support us. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy crocheting and happy Halloween.